Good afternoon, Patriots. Some of you it's good morning, but at any rate, good day to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. As I always say, please hit the like, hit the heart, and share this video because we have a special guest on with us today. I would love for everybody to be able to watch this. So give it a share, give it a heart, give it a like. If you're following us on our YouTube channel, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you do not miss our latest breaking news. How is everybody doing today? It's Friday. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited it's Friday. We took our Back the Blue gifts to the local police station today. It was amazing. My kids got to meet the chief of police, and it was a great time. So if you guys haven't done something for Police Appreciation Week, please do that tomorrow, today. Doesn't matter. Take them some donuts. Take them a card. Take them a 24-pack of water. It doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts, and trust me, they will appreciate it. All right, let's see. Where are y'all tuning in from? Drop where you're tuning in from. Give me a hashtag strength in numbers. And then if you are watching for the first time, please let me know that as well. I love to give my new viewers a shout out. Jealous of you from the great Ron DeSantis state of Florida. Make America Florida. Good morning in California. Woo. Good morning, and you are very welcome. Got Illinois, Texas, Maryland, Michigan in the house. Hello, everybody. Alabama, Virginia. You guys are awesome. I have a special guest with me today. His name is Ross Bennett. Some of you may know him as RossDuhBoss from TikTok and Instagram. This dude is hilarious, but also very intelligent. And he's not following for the wokeness of the left. So excited to have him on the show today. We're gonna chat. I don't have a set list of questions. We were actually talking about something really good backstage before we came on. So we're gonna probably continue that conversation. And yeah, so let's introduce Ross Bennett. Everybody give him a hand wave or some kind of emoji to make him feel welcome. Hey, Ross.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody.
I was wondering if you were going to put the wig on before you went live.
No, not yet. I might pull it out halfway through. Usually only when the fans ask.
This guy. All right, man. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, I didn't care about politics very much. And then Trump came on the scene. And I didn't care about Trump very much. I was going to vote for Ben Carson. And then I saw that they said that Trump said some racist things. And then I decided to evaluate whether, because it was such an offensive accusation that they made. It was such a large accusation that they made. Like he's racist. He said something racist. And it was like pretty blatantly racist what they said that he said. And so I was like, well, all right, if I'm not going to like this guy because of that, I should at least see it for myself. And then upon looking at it for myself, there was nothing there. And it wasn't what they said. And so I was like, that was a lie. And then that made me, there's something in the human heart that exists. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Andrew Carnegie, Dale Carnegie, whoever wrote it. They talk about this where, let's say this is a long explanation for what it is, but I'll come back to it later. It doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, so Trump stuff being lied about got me frustrated to the point where I started talking a lot and challenging people on what they thought. And then I realized that a lot of them didn't know very much about anything as far as what they believed, conservative or liberal, whatever. And then the ideology got caked on so hard for the next 3-4 years that it made it to the point where I was like, all right, I'm just going to, none of this even makes sense. And if you talk about it for long enough, you will change your mind. So I just was like, I'm going to convince everybody that I can talk to that conservative ideas are better for society in the long haul than progressive ideas currently. And what's up, everybody? I see you guys commenting. Hey, how's it going? But hey, yeah, so that's it. I like being funny. I like being serious. We need people for the next 3-4 years that are going to be intense because it's going to be intense times.
Absolutely. I think for you to say that, Trump really changed, I have like the exact same story as you. I was very ignorant And I was living in my ignorant world because none of it really affected me. And I was like, I don't want to know about politics. I don't want to talk about politics. And then Trump started exposing things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the world that we live in. And there's still so many people that don't believe it. They still watch mainstream media, believe what's coming out of these people's mouths when it's basically been cut open and proven that these people are running with narratives and that what they're saying is not factual information. They just take snippets from whatever happened and they give you the bad of it and they tell you how to feel about it.
Yeah, well, it's really easy to control people. You know, that's what I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years is that it's really easy to manipulate people. You know, I've been in sales for a long time, so I've always kind of known like you can manipulate people, but the degree that they're doing it at, they really take advantage of people that don't look into things. And what happens is they really take advantage of the people that have really good natures, that have really good hearts and don't like injustice and stuff like that. That's a really noble thing. So I try to remember that about my friends or soon to be friends on the left. You know, once they realize the truth, they won't hate me so much. But the reason that they're so into everything is because they really feel like they're righting a wrong. And that's not a bad thing that people want to be on the team that rights the wrong. Unfortunately, they're wrong. And the information that they believe is actually inaccurate. And they're helping the wrong strip away the powers to everybody. So yeah.
I mean, I totally agree. I think it's definitely the left goes for that mushy middle. You know, the ones that like aren't on one side or the other. They want to be good people. They want to contribute to society, but they don't really want to, you know, rock the boat. But that's definitely who they go for because they're essentially undecided. And the left is really good about pushing narratives. They're really good about manipulating people. And
well, that's Operation Mockingbird, right? CIA, when they hired back in the 50s, 60s, when they hired 400 reporters to basically go out and to say what they're being told to say, to spin ideas and to create emotionalism and repetition. And then they have got all the information that they had from MK Ultra as far as how to actually manipulate people's thoughts by having repetitious behavior. A lot of what they do is, you know, it's kind of like, well, here's a great example. If you guys have ever been arguing with somebody in the comment section and then they go, exactly, you think da-da-da-da-da, and like they're not giving a thorough, nuanced opinion of what your view is, and then they put the laughing, crying emoji, that's like you're so stupid if you argue with my point that you're laughable. You see the same thing happen in the news cycles. What they'll do is they'll be like, don't tell me you think that the vaccine's dangerous or whatever it is. And it's like, oh, and people who don't have a aggressive personality or a confrontational demeanor will go, oh, am I considered stupid if I believe? I don't want to be considered stupid. And this is all subconscious. They don't even think it out loud. And then they just go, oh, it's stupid to believe that. And then you end up with people that are uninformed and they've been driven by emotionalism and by groupthink, and it's easy to walk the way of the buffalo. If everybody's walking one direction, it's annoying to be the person who has to walk the other direction at all. Most people don't like friction. And so they've learned this over years and years of years, and they've basically created this system that falsely informs people so that they can control their votes and public opinion. And it's interesting to watch Marxism have a hold like it has.
So we were talking backstage about how Blake and I are both from Ohio, and our governor just recently stated that starting next Wednesday, every Wednesday for the next 5 weeks, he's going to do a lottery drawing for $1 million every Wednesday to people who have had their first round of the jab.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you're at the point where you're trying to bribe people for something that doesn't have FDA official approval, not emergency approval, I just question, and especially because there's so many side effects that have happened so far, that I just really question people who are like, have you ever been in a room with a salesman and they just really, really want you to buy something, and then you start backing away from the table, like, I'll have to think about it, and they start getting offended, and they're like, well, you wasted all my time, and if you're not going to buy something, why are you even here? And they start getting mad, and they start going for your throat. Yes. That's what's happening right now on a massive scale in the U.S. is you're being punished if you don't do it. So every lefty that wants to freaking argue with me about this, argue with me about it. It is psychological and social punishment to be outed or to be ostracized or to be considered a scarlet letter type person if you didn't take the vaccine. Like, they're doing that, and it's intentional. Like the freaking MLB games where you have vaccinated and non-vaccinated sections of the stadium. Like, there's so much of this that is pushing people that may otherwise decide to try to make a more health conscious decision, do a little bit more research, do a little bit more waiting. I'd like to wait and think about it. That's not evil to have that opinion, but the fact that they're trying to shove this so hard, it just gives reason to be like, this doesn't seem like it's about my health, especially because you're offering me a damn donut with it, guys.
Right. Or a $7 beer. Don't forget the beer.
Yeah. Or French fries.
I'm not, I'm just really not willing to take the free donut just because of that. I don't know. It's just not, I'm like, dude, you're giving away money to try to get people to do this. I can't wrap my brain around it, but there's going to be people who will. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I could have $1 million. I have to do this.
Yeah. You're talking about like an actual like 20% chunk of people that are in the position to play the lottery. Like, that doesn't seem right to. And I'm pretty sure there's actually like a couple ethical codes that they're breaking from the Geneva Convention or from the whatever, where they've created these, maybe it's the Nuremberg. I don't know what the codes are, but there's some about like experimental drugs and forcing them or bribing people to take them or like advocating for them in some weird way. I got to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
I just can't. I don't know. To me, it's really sick. Because there are people that everybody could use $1 million. Like, you could use $1 million. I could use $1 million. I could pay off school loan debt. That'd be great. Sure. But why are we tagging this with you having to get the jab? That's incentivizing it. Like,
yeah, you would think that if there was enough of a problem that personally people were so compelled by their family members' stories that there would be less of a need for compulsory bribing and trying to get people in that way. I'm not saying altogether, because look, there's seatbelt signs everywhere and everybody knows that if you wreck and you're not wearing a seatbelt, you usually die. But to the degree, you don't see a mass seatbelt freaking thing across the United States where they're bribing you to wear your damn seatbelt. So anyway, you get what I'm saying.
I feel it. Okay, hold on. Let me see what else. So how do you feel about what's going on in Maricopa? I mean, is this a win for conservatives or what?
Yeah, I mean, look, you basically said for the past 4 years, but from October, you basically said we're not allowed to talk about anything that could affect the election before the election happened. Everybody was talking about Hunter Biden's business deals, Hunter Biden's laptop, the multiple amounts of pictures that China and Ukraine had and Russia had of Hunter doing blow and banging hookers, called it Russian disinformation and banned everybody that talked about it. Come to find out right after the election, you were wrong, and you banned people from talking about something that certainly would have had some percentage effect on the election. And then after the election, it's because it's the first one that's ever been done in history where there was mail-out voting, mail-out ballots where they mailed out to giant populations and then just expected them to come back. And we're not allowed to talk about how maybe this wasn't the healthiest, most ethical, most transparent election. And then now they're calling us crazy and conspiracy theorists for thinking that's the case. But in 2016, they wouldn't shut up about the Russia collusion helping him win, which turned out to be a lie. And then now we have the actual, and then look, here's what happened. The conservatives kept going, we want an actual forensic audit. And then they did recounts, and all the lefties go, see, nothing was there. Because all they did was recount the bills in the cash register and go, yeah, there's 50 20s and there's $105 bills. We were right. And what we've wanted the whole time was for them to go evaluate the bills and determine whether they are authentic or not. And then we'll know. And this is the first time that they're actually doing that in a way that conservatives are like, this is what we wanted the whole time. So lefties are going, oh my God, this is the 58th time. Shut up. It's same thing's going to happen. And we're going, nah, bitch, this is the first time. And we're about to pie you in the face.
Yes. Isn't it hilarious, the double standard? They did not stop from 2016 to 2020 talking about election irregularities with Donald Trump and how Russia had something to do with it. And that's the only reason. I mean, they did not stop. Right. And they were proven wrong.
Right. The FBI agents themselves said that they had no evidence of actual Russia collusion. 5 of them that helped launch it, all under oath, said that. So I love when all the lefties go, there's actual proof. Look at Paul Manafort and look at these things. Okay, go look it up. As soon as you look past the headline and look up what these people were actually arrested for, you go, oh, okay, well, that's not quite what I thought. But it takes
wait, you actually have to read it? You have to read?
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm lazy too. I don't like reading. I literally, I have to make myself do it so I can be educated enough to have a good opinion. Because look, your opinion's only as valuable as it is accurate.
True.
Every opinion is not created equal, and every culture is not equal. Some cultures suck, and some opinions suck. And that's like an idea in like this modern era where everybody's supposed to be heard. Nope. You don't get an opinion if you don't know what you're talking about, at least not one that I'm ever going to listen to. And I won't advocate that anybody else listen to you.
Fair and true. So, how do you feel about censorship? Have you experienced?
Sure. Yeah. The video I just did the other day about the lefty who ran out of gas, the girl with the pink hair. Yeah. Did you see that one with the siphoning gas out of the dude's truck? Right. Like, so I made that video and TikTok banned it because they said that siphoning gas was a dangerous activity. And I'm like, are you really thinking that I'm advocating for people to siphon gas? So I literally made the same video. I reposted it and I put a warning on there. And I said, do not siphon gas. It is dangerous. This is just water. And they still banned it again and wouldn't let me do it again. So, I mean, there's hundreds of these. I mean, I've probably had 10 videos banned on TikTok or whatever for these little incidents that aren't that big of a deal. Facebook bans my stuff all the time. YouTube bans my YouTube banned. I work with a company that I'm with called Speak Truth Without Fear with Jordan Sarmo and a bunch of other buddies. We've got Robbie Starbuck on there a lot and different things. And they ban a lot of the videos we collaborate to make because it's like, it's just not, it's so easy because they've basically grayed the entire area. If you say something is harassing or bullying, that really kind of qualifies as anything today, because if you subjectively were offended by something, then I'm under the weight of your subjective feelings to have to cater to them. So you can just pick any Nancy on the street and go, did this offend you? And if they say yes, then you can quantify it as this was bullying and harassing to somebody. So therefore we have to take it down. So yeah, I mean, I suppose the future is not going to be very bright for conservatives trying to, post true things like, there's 2 genders, generally speaking, like is what it is.
I guess for me, I don't understand the community standards. Like there's so many things that get let through, but then we get on here and talk about truth and you can almost guarantee this video is going to get taken down just because we've sat here and had a conversation.
Right. Yeah. The idea, look, here's what's happened. The idea used to be liberals were people who would say, I might not agree with your beliefs. And they were usually talking to like gay people and stuff because that wasn't like a common thing back then. So they'd be like, look, I might not believe in I might not agree with your beliefs and what you do, but I'll defend you, gay person, to the death for you to be able to say that you're gay and should have a chance to express that, right? That was a liberal point. But what's happened is that now liberals don't exist. It's very rare that you actually find a real liberal. And then you have lefties, which has taken over the party, AOC, the Squad, Bernie Sanders. You know, look, like Joe Biden's policies are as far left as possible. It's not even a liberal position. They like the idea of critical race theory is something that liberals would not have supported 8 years ago. If you voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012, you are not the same person. You're like Obama's today. If the Obama speeches came back up, the presidential speeches from Obama today, and they were broadcast, people would be offended by them. When Obama said, do not send your children to our border or we will send them back, he would be considered a hate. That would be a hate crime. It would be, something against people of color, whatever. Because it doesn't matter if you're black. Apparently, if you say anything that doesn't toe the leftist line, you're an Uncle Tom, you're a racist, you're, Candace Owens, whatever. So the liberal ideology used to be, I don't agree with you, but I'll defend your rights to say it. That is now the conservative ideology. Like, I don't have any problems with gay people. I don't have any problems with if you want to identify as a woman, do you? But like, you don't get to decide what comes out of other people's mouths.
Yeah. It's still America. I mean, so how do you feel about what's going on at the border? It's not a crisis. You can't say that. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's smart. I think it's smart that they're bussing in as many future voters as they can. It seems that makes sense because they are losing the black vote relatively quickly. So if they don't get more people in, then they're going to be, it's going to be really tough. If the elections get to the point where they're actually legitimate again, it's going to be tough. And for anybody that wants to argue about that, we can. There's 5,000 signed affidavits from people on left and right and center that all said that they themselves witnessed voter fraud. I don't know what you do about that, but I don't think they paid 5,000 people to sign affidavits that could have penalty of perjury underneath of them for stuff that they didn't, that was an absolute lie. Either way, we can debate about that all day. But yeah, I mean, I think the border's going pretty bad, but it doesn't matter because nobody cares about it. I haven't seen AOC do a photo shoot out there again like she did last time.
Mm-mm. No, and Kamala's never been there, even though she's the head of making sure everything's running smoothly with all that. She's never even gone to the border. So
yeah, it's hard to watch, to be honest with you. It's embittering is what it is. It's enraging to watch the country go down this path and for there to be no legitimate outcry of, well, number one, we never gave a shit anyway. Like, everybody didn't care 10 years ago about any of the things that we care about now, and kind of rightly so. Like, just do you, we don't care about certain components, aren't really something that every American should care about. But then we were made to care about it so that they could turn everybody's emotions against Trump. And now that that's over and they got the election that worked or whatever, now it's like, all right, now we don't need everybody to be so sensitive as we needed them to be for them to hate Trump. So it doesn't make sense for them to be the same level of sensitive. So let's stop talking about it so much. All these different things that they're supposed to be offended about.
Yeah, but now they've awoken so many lions.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not like there's a lot of us now that are like, if you want to lie, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to take the country and do it while we sit idly by. And we needed this. We've been sitting on our hands for a long time.
No, I completely agree. Absolutely 100%. So I have a couple more things I want to ask you. Number one, do you think everybody needs to go vote? What's your opinion on that?
Well, what do you mean? Give me a better question.
I mean, Okay, so in the 2022 election, do you think that it's imperative that we vote?
Who's we?
Conservatives.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's like so many people that are like, well, our vote's not going to count because of what happened. And my thought process is your vote is your voice. So you need to be there and vote. Period.
Yeah, they won't think that again. They won't think that in a year. We have a lot of time. Trump's going to start doing rallies again here in June and July. I just got off the phone I was chatting with Steve Bannon's daughter, Maureen, or whatever. I mean, everything's launching back up. They're all going full-fledged. So I don't think people are going to really be thinking that for very long. The question is what's going to happen if what happened this last time with the election is allowed to happen again, then yes, you're right. It doesn't make sense to vote. But I think over the next year, there's going to be quite a bit that comes unfolded that's going to make sure that kind of thing has a significantly less likely chance of occurring again. Now, if Joe Biden and them and the people that control Joe Biden are able to effectively ruin the country before we're able to get to the bottom of things, then that might be another story. But for now, I say, yeah, you got to vote. You got to do it.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. What was the other thing I was going to ask you? I don't remember. Anyways, it was a good chat anyways. Can you please tell everybody where they can follow you? I know you mentioned a group that you work with. Do they have?
Yeah, Ross the Boss. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I've got 360,000 followers on TikTok. I've got like 40,000 on Instagram, YouTube. I've just started posting my stuff on YouTube recently to actually, because it's a little more exhausting to do. But you can find me on YouTube. There's some good Q&A stuff in there, but mostly the funny skits is the stuff that everybody likes. So that and the serious ones. But it's gonna be taken off more over the next year, because this is what I'm going to be doing full time as soon as I can afford to do that, and I plan on pushing conservative values quite a bit.
That's awesome. What's your advice to conservatives right now? Because like I feel like you
need to become confrontational, and what I mean by confrontational is you need to become bold. And for a lot of you who are listening right now, you're worried because maybe you're introverted or maybe you don't know really how to argue well or whatever. But listen, boldness is not a personality type. Boldness can come from clarity. If you have a lot of clarity about something, it causes you to become bold about that. If you're a professional in an arena, whatever your job is that you're a professional at, let's just say that you're a person that washes cars for a living and that's what you do. If I told you that washing your car with Dawn dish soap is good and everything should be fine, you would probably go, hang on, no, it's not. You're going to remove the wax coating, and if something hits your car, it's going to really actually hurt the paint. You don't want to do, because it'll strip the wax, so don't use Dawn dish soap. And then the reason you were so bold to confront me was because you had clarity, not because you were a stronger personality type than me. So you need to take time, every conservative who's listening, take the time, learn why you believe what you believe. And then when somebody says something stupid, you can become healthily confrontational and you can actually destroy the argument, which is the goal. And you're going to have to do that over the next couple of years because the argument is coming to your doorstep. Get the vaccine or wear a mask. What do you say to that? Well, I don't want to. Well, that's not a good enough thing. Well, what do you say to it? Well, here's the 5 reasons that doesn't make sense. And here's the other reasons why constitutionally you aren't allowed to say that shit to me. That's a better answer. Way better than I don't feel like it and you ain't taking my rights. Okay, that's a cool thing to say, but why do you have those rights? Why are those necessary? Why is it good that the person who's arguing to you that you should take the vaccine, why is it good for you to know for them how it's bad? Listen, if you make me get the vaccine, Janet, who's trying to make me get the vaccine, however many years from now, pretend that there's not a real epidemic and they want you to get another vaccine that you don't feel comfortable about because this one has way worse side effects. Is it a good precedent to set that the government is allowed to tell you what chemicals to put in your body? No, it's not. Awesome. I agree with you. So don't set the precedent now with me. Also, I don't want to have to shoot you for attempting to make me get a vaccine. So that's a good reason.
Well, there is that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is that, and nobody wants to use it.
There is that. I want to end on a funny. Do you got something like in your head right now that you could just pull out and make everybody laugh? Besides what you just said, because that was hilarious. Get the wig on and let's hear it.
Sure, I'll be woke person.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'll go blue.
I love blue. It's my favorite color.
All right. Hang on.
Okay, we're waiting for woke person. You have to tell us your name.
She doesn't have a name yet. I haven't named her yet.
Okay.
Zer. Yes. So I have been at the college campuses just advocating for like the native indigenous peoples, which kind of qualifies as anybody that doesn't look white, because white people have taken so much from us that it's important that we take it back. But specifically, the only way we can take it back is to fund more abortions for white people because they're overpopulated. And I don't mean that to be rude, but if you're a white woman and I see you and you have 3 kids, I'm thinking, wow, you're colonizing with population already. And I don't know what to do with that besides to tell you need to stop. And if they're like 1 year old, maybe you could give them to a black family or a gay black family would be even better. Because what would occur would be like they would recognize the wickedness that's in their soul intrinsically that they didn't elect to have. It's because of their skin, of course. I know Martin Luther King Jr. said, like, I have a dream that you'd be judged by the content of your character. And I appreciate that. But Martin was a little guy. And I think we're past where he was now. And we're to the stage where I actually don't give a shit about your skin unless it's white. And I don't care about your character. I care about you supporting the indoctrination to the degree that it should be. Because you're kind of dangerous if you don't believe what I believe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But could I ask you one question? So, did you when this fuel shortage happened, did you put gas in Walmart sacks and take them home with you?
Well, first things first, I don't own a car yet. I'm working on it. I have a PayPal set up for when I knit little things. And whenever I knit things and I sell them to members of the resistance, which is obviously me, my cisgendered unicorn boyfriend, Steven. Also, there's like 3 other cats. And it doesn't matter. What matters is that like I knit things. And so once I get that done, I am going to be purchasing a vehicle. There's also a loan in Portland out here where you can purchase a vehicle even if you have no credit and have never contributed to society in any type of an actual verifiable or valuable way. So I'm excited about that. But why? Did you ask that because I'm the way that I am? It seemed like you asked that because of who I am as a person. And that was obviously you're a white woman, so you don't know anything about what it's like to be in my particular shoes. So I'm just trying to figure out, was that something you intentionally did? Did your parents teach you that? You're laughing. She's laughing. Wow. Yeah. So that's why I don't come on these anymore. It's because people generally think that when like they finally realize their own wickedness, that it's something that they should laugh at. And I'm not saying that. Like it's okay to laugh sometimes because it's so overwhelming to be confronted with your own genuine disturbed nature and realizing that you're actually wicked. But you have to get past that point and you have to graduate to the point of actually self-flatulation, so to speak. You need to be like really beating yourself up as quick as possible to affect the most amount of change. Does that make sense? And you look comfortable. I see all the books that you have there that mommy and daddy probably helped make good decisions and gave you a good upbringing for, and you probably paid for from your perfectly on-time checking account with your budget and your balance and all that privilege shit. But, for the rest of us that are in the world, anyway, it's chaos and you don't know anything about it. It's a jungle out in this bitch. There you go. That's her.
You have to name her. She has to have a name.
Her name is Star. No, I'm just kidding.
Star.
I hope that was the best thing that your fans have seen in like a full year.
It is, trust me. Oh my gosh, they are so excited right now. They are all sharing it because you're hilarious.
There you go, guys. Go to my Instagram, man. Go follow it. If you don't laugh, then don't follow me anymore. But give it a shot. You won't delete me. You'll follow me forever.
Trust me, you'll follow him. He's hilarious. I could sit and watch his videos all day long. They're hilarious. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on YouTube.
Yeah, let's do YouTube now. I guess I got to beef it up because you make the most money on YouTube. So I got to make money doing this, I guess.
There you go.
Awesome. Kayli, good being with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for.
God bless everybody. Keep up the fight, vote, and stay strong, and be confrontational once you learn the information that's worth being confrontational about. God bless you guys. Y'all have a good day.
Bye, guys.